What if a small act of kindness could change your entire life? In this story, a young girl from a struggling family makes a simple decision on a crowded bus, helping an elderly stranger without expecting anything in return. No cameras, no attention, just pure kindness from the heart. But what she doesn't know is that the woman she helped is far more powerful than she appears, and her response will shock everyone. Because sometimes, the smallest actions create the biggest miracles. Before we begin, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful and emotional stories like this. Now, let's get started. The city bus rattled through the busy streets of New York, packed with people lost in their own worlds. Some stared at their phones, others looked out the window, avoiding eye contact like it was part of an unspoken rule. Among them sat Lena, a 14-year-old girl wearing a simple uniform. Her backpack resting on her lap, she quietly counted the few crumpled bills in her hand. Just enough to get home and maybe buy something small if she was careful. Life had taught her to think twice before spending even a single dollar. Her mother worked long hours as a housemaid, and Lena understood what sacrifice looked like. That's why she never complained, never asked for more than what they could afford. But despite everything, she carried something rare, a natural kindness that didn't depend on wealth or comfort. As the bus stopped at the next station, an elderly woman slowly stepped inside. She looked tired, her movements careful, her eyes scanning her purse with growing concern. When she reached the driver, she hesitated. She didn't have enough money for the fare. For a moment, silence filled the space around her. A few passengers noticed, but quickly looked away. No one wanted to get involved. The driver sighed impatiently, clearly used to situations like this. The woman's embarrassment was visible, her hands slightly trembling as she searched again, hoping something might appear. That's when Lena stood up. Without making a scene, she walked forward and placed her money into the fare box. "It's okay," she said softly. The old woman looked at her, surprised, her expression slowly changing into a gentle smile filled with gratitude. Lena simply nodded and returned to her seat, unaware that this small, quiet moment was about to change her. Life in ways she could never imagine. The following morning felt ordinary at first, but everything changed when Lena returned home from school. Her mother stood by the door, holding a letter with a look of confusion mixed with worry. It was an invitation, formal, unexpected, and addressed to both of them. They were asked to visit a corporate office in downtown Manhattan. Neither of them understood why. They had no connections to such places, no reason to be called there. Still, curiosity and a quiet sense of urgency pushed them to go. The building was unlike anything Lena had ever seen up close. Tall glass walls, polished floors, and a silence that felt powerful rather than empty. As they stepped inside, Lena held her mother's hand tightly. People in suits moved with confidence, their attention focused and purposeful. For a moment, Lena felt out of place, like she didn't belong in a world so different from her own. They were guided into a large office where everything seemed perfectly arranged. Then the door opened, and Lena froze. The elderly woman from the bus walked in, but she was no longer dressed simply. She carried herself with authority, her presence commanding respect. Behind her stood assistants waiting quietly. "I was hoping you would come," the woman said warmly. She explained that she was a business owner who sometimes observed people anonymously, believing that true character revealed itself in everyday moments. Lena's simple act of kindness had stood out in a world where most chose to look away. What happened next left both Lena and her mother speechless. The woman offered to support Lena's education fully and ensure her family had the stability they had always struggled for. It wasn't just a reward, it was a life-changing opportunity. And in that moment, Lena realized that even the smallest act of kindness can echo far beyond what we expect.